Mike's of the Round Table, presented by Cinescape Media, where we're going to set the table with topics from all areas. This show is brought to you by Cinescape Media Network. Be sure to visit cinescape.media for a complete listing of all the great podcasts and content we have available. I am your host, Sean Harrigan. Joining me at the table today is Bill Rowdy Roddy Tozzy.
Woo!
Dex Burgess of Suburban Paranormal.
What's up, everybody?
Mr. Mike Shea of Mixtape Radio. Hi, Michael.
Somebody just chunked in his pants.
Well, I'm glad
we have
we're
a very
all socially apart, so we cannot partake in the smell of that.
Absolutely, we're getting our special guest trial by fire here tonight. Please welcome
for aromas.
Please welcome Miss Crystal Marie Austin. Crystal, how's it going tonight?
I have applause. There it is.
All right. I like it. So this is the first incarnation of Mike's of the Round Table. Last week, if you did join us, a couple of us got together and we did a little impromptu, we can call it the pilot version of what this show is going to be. Last week, we talked about the coronavirus. We don't want to get an hour and 15-minute topic about that again. We'll touch on it a little bit at the top of the show. We're going to talk a little bit about what has been going on with GameStop. And we're going to open up the table for everybody else in here to bring something to it. And we'll go off of that. And then later on the show, we'll also get to know our special guest, Crystal Marie Austin. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's briefly get back to the coronavirus, update everybody how we're doing. We are still dealing with the coronavirus. Last show, as we said, we discussed how our lives, careers, and individual podcasts have been affected. Let's just go around the horn real quick, give some updates. Bill, how are you guys faring over there with everything going on?
Corona day, I don't even know.
I feel you.
I've developed a film or some kind of topical layer over my my skin, so that's not good.
You got to shower, Bill. You got to shower.
Is it? That's it? That's all I got to do?
At least once a week. That's all we're asking.
That might help. But yeah, other than that, God, man, it's rough. Teddy Grahams all day.
Teddy Grahams all day. Yeah. Speaking of Teddy Grahams and teddy bears, Mike, what's been going on out in Ohio?
Man, just, same thing as always going on in Ohio. A whole lot of nothing. Not a fucking thing.
That's good.
This is I'm surrounded by corn and wheat. So as far as
keep supplying us, we need it.
Yeah, right. Where am I at in the world? I'm in the middle of it, basically.
Somewhere out there.
Next to the steel factory.
That's what's going on with you and your whole brood.
The brood is going crazy. The damn house.
You guys are
they're all right. The oldest hates freaking missing school, but she starts like virtual school on Wednesday, so she's happy to see her friends.
School.
Yeah, basically, everybody's going online.
Very good, and
that's
Crystal,
about it.
Crystal,
my kids are doing the same e-learning. Yeah. It's called e-learning around here in Indiana, where nobody's staying home. Sucks. They just busted. I live 2 miles from IU, so they just busted big parties this weekend of 200 kids. Social distancing for the win, right?
Awesome.
Pretty crazy.
Throw the book at them.
I guess we all want to just stay home forever.
Yeah. Did you guys see? Speaking of Corona, and obviously Crystal just mentioned something, but I don't know if you guys saw, Sean and Dex especially, but in Trenton they broke up a house party, but it was in like a 500 square foot apartment. There was like almost 50 people in there.
And a DJ.
They're smoking blunts and shit.
I thought we were back like 10 years because that was me.
I was gonna say that's like a hotel party. Like we've all done that.
Yeah, you got to go out in the woods and do that shit like you used to.
Crazy times.
Get one of those big spools they use for cable, and that's your party table right there, man. Just set it up
pretty much
spot in the woods and
do
everything with one of those.
Party at the Moon Tower.
Be a whole lot cooler if you did.
Be a lot cooler if you did.
Yeah,
man.
the guy fell down the ladder. You can see the blood stains right there.
He'll be
Every wrong on the way down,
So
man.
freshman.
He'll be all right.
How many beers did you have?
You're dead,
Oh,
man.
You're
You're
dead.
so dead.
You're so dead.
He's great. He's great in that movie.
6 feet apart, or you're dead, man. You're dead.
So this show is actually just movie
that
quotes
makes
for an hour. So I hope you're ready.
Why not?
Yeah,
80s
obviously.
theme because of Crystal.
Yes.
Yay.
We're
Well,
gonna
that
get
was
into
90s, but yeah,
Crystal's
we can go there.
80s
We can go
prowess. Yeah, we're gonna get into Crystal's prowess later on.
80s and 90s are both kind of, I don't know. I was born in 79, so both, right? I was in
Oh, you
both
get a mix and
worlds.
match.
Yeah.
I did.
Nice.
The early 90s, though, you know.
So you're a
Yeah.
70s kid the same way I'm an 80s kid. All right.
I was a little weirdo skater girl with little buns on her hair and rolled around on my skateboard and did that sort of stuff.
Like Rainbow Bright. Awesome.
Like a metal lunchbox for a purse situation, you know. Like Bjork, but cooler. I don't know.
Bjork.
Or I thought so anyway when I was little. I thought I was pretty cool. My little boy
Nice.
t-shirts.
Well, we're going to get to learn all about Crystal later on in the show, but I want to jump into today's main topic. Recently, video game and electronic retailer GameStop came under fire after statements emerged from company CEO stating that they were, quote, essential business. There's been a lot of internet backlash as well, which seemingly forced the company to actually begin complying with mandated orders from their local governments. I have a couple sources here that I wanted to read from statements from. This first one, this is from, where'd it go? This is from ARS Technica, and they have been kind of doing like a running commentary of all the stuff that's been coming out. First quote I'm going to read here. While GameStop is best known as a provider of gaming and home entertainment systems, we also offer a wide array of products and devices that are important to facilitate remote work, distance learning, and virtual connectivity. GameStop says it is, quote, one of many providers that serve the significant need for technology solutions that many Americans are now facing as they work and learn from home. While there are many businesses and organizations far more crucial than ours, we believe we can have a positive impact during this challenging time. The statement goes on to continue, adding that we're complying with all state, county, and city ordinances and will be continuing to adjust for any future developments. So this is the initial onset of GameStop's statement here. I believe it's from March 22nd. Yeah, they're saying that they're going to comply, they're going to listen, but as we're going to find out in just a second here, they are obviously going against that and are still continuing to go against that. So same day, later on in the day, they released another statement effective March 22nd, later on today. All locations not already closed in accordance with state and local orders will temporarily stop customer access to storefronts, processing orders on a digital only basis, moving to our curbside pickup at stores and e-commerce delivery only. So first they're saying that they're essential business. They don't need to close down. Everybody needs their shit. Then they're, okay, well, we're starting to feel some heat. We're going to start doing curbside pickup and delivery only, which is what a lot of places are doing now. Grocery stores, you have your online orders, anything that you need to go get picked up food-wise, even if you get it delivered to your house. Yeah, we got some pizza and stuff delivered yesterday. They made sure that they came, left everything out at the front door, left. Then I went out and picked everything up before or after they had already left. So already they're starting to get it a little bit here. The next part reads, despite having most of our European stores closed for the last few weeks, this is a newer statement that came out, I believe, 3 days ago, the increased demand for our products across the world has led to a positive 2% comparable sales results for March month-to-date period through this past Saturday. So they're actually saying that they're seeing an increase in their overall sales with what they're doing. Okay, cool. You're talking about your profitability during a pandemic. Great. But there's been a lot of reports coming out from employees that are giving interviews and things like that, blogging, that they've been forced to work in unsafe conditions. They've been made to buy their own cleaning products. And with their curbside pickup, the Boston Globe actually put out an article let me read this one real quick. A quick snippet. GameStop, the video game retailer, sent employees in Massachusetts back to work this past Friday despite the shutdown order. Instead of allowing customers inside the stores doing curbside pickup, which we just talked about, workers have been told to, quote, wrap plastic bags around one hand to protect it from exposure to the virus, open the door crack, and take the customer's credit card. That's what they're being told to do. So
credit card, you got it.
Yeah. Social distancing in full effect here. Obviously, GameStop does not give a shit about their employees, their customers. They're only looking for a bottom line. Let's go around a little bit. First impressions of things that we heard so far. Crystal, let's start it off with you. How do you feel about GameStop's tactics going on right now?
So
Stuff.
I have mixed emotions because my son used to go there to get games all the time, and I just call them dick move from the beginning of his just childhood, because just trading in stuff and having it be horribly priced and not having anything for your money. And then this latest bullshit they did is just underhanded, shady, trying to make money off of a bad situation. Just makes me upset. I don't understand that logic to put people in danger. The people in their cars, the people that are handing over the games or whatever they're trying to accomplish, the emails they send out. It's just yikes. Yikes in one word.
It's definitely got that sleaze factor going on. Yeah, they're obviously only
Pretty
caring
shitty.
about their bottom line. They don't care about their employees.
What about you guys?
Mike, what do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Perfect.
Right.
Ever since we had the whole thing where the governor from Pennsylvania pulled their license, they're talking about how, I think I read somewhere where like 300 something stores will not open again after this is all said and over with. And honestly, at this point, I think it's time. I think GameStop has outlived their welcome at this point. They have outstayed themselves. I think GameStop getting shut down was only a matter of time, and I think it's time for them to just move on. I mean, you can go online, type in YouTube, and just type GameStop employment story, and the horror stories of former employees from working there will tell you. And it's really obvious. GameStop just doesn't give a shit at all, and at this point, I think it's just karma. So.
I mean, they only gave me $1.50 for Soul Calibur 2. So I mean,
for 64.
Such a ripoff.
Yeah, bro.
Not your employee. You haven't given a shit about customers. They'll give you $2 for a brand new game, turn around and sell it for 60.
Right.
I know.
And people have caught on to that scam for years, but there was like nowhere else to go for the long time. But now that digital game sales are so prevalent, it was just a matter of time.
I'd rather have my kids have digital for sure. They can't ruin them, scratch them. They're just there to play forever.
Yes.
It's way better.
Exactly it.
I mean, and GameStop won't even give you a reach around these days. So
well, unless you want it with a plastic bag on.
They just raw dog you, no lube even.
No lube.
Sorry about that.
Bill, I want to get your
proverbial nail in the coffin.
Bill, I want to get your take on this, but real quick, there was I think it might have been like on Kotaku or another one of these video game
Kotaku,
sites.
what's that?
Yeah, it's like hentai anime tentacle porn site.
Oh, okay.
But
I got a folder.
One of their users came out and actually had recorded a GameStop conference call that he had been on and posted it to YouTube. I listened to like 10, 15 minutes. So he'll preface what's about to happen. As whatever sleazy comments he has with it, and then he'll start playing the audio, and you're just listening to these people, the execs and higher ups talk about a point, and they're letting their the people on the call ask questions, and they are politicking their way around these answers so hard, and you're really beating around the bush, and they're not actually answering questions, and they're expecting people to just take it, and it's so gross and disgusting. It just shows what a lack of respect that they have for everybody. But Bill, I know you're not getting your money's worth at GameStop anyway, but how do you feel about this whole thing?
I mean, overall, with GameStop, we can poke fun, and there's a certain side of it that you can, understand, like, oh, GameStop, the jokes and all that, but it's fiscally irresponsible when you know that they've already filed for bankruptcy. In just corporate America, the companies that react appropriately and swiftly right out the gates are the brands that you tend to identify with and see who's going to lead the charge a little bit. And when a company like that just, regardless of if you're just trying to squeeze out an extra few dollars, just it's do the right thing at this point. So if they close, they deserve it. I mean, you can still get games online. There's still other avenues to get your fix. So it's totally, that's it. Whatever, it's out of my hands.
Absolutely. Dex, in your opinion, is GameStop an
I think
essential
it's crazy that
business?
they tried to call it like essential when you can get gaming and you can't even get internet supplies or anything like that. Why would they even be able to even say that?
Exactly. Like she
because
was
they can buy Xboxes and like PlayStation, you can buy that at Target or Walmart or anywhere else and not have somebody hand it to you with a dirty bag over their hand.
They're not essential. This is gotta be like Mike was saying, go to the way of Blockbuster. You're done. This is the gotta be proverbial nail in the coffin. You have literally continued to show how disgusting of a company you can continue to be. And I really hope, even if they keep a store open, nobody goes to it. I feel bad for the employees that are stuck working there, but I hope those employees just go somewhere too, because this is ridiculous. And that phone call, I actually listened to all of it. It builds and builds on just bullshit. And the people start asking the same question a different way. And he literally just keeps going, well, we're just going to keep going. Like, doesn't give a shit. We're just going to keep going. So I really do hope they close after this. And best of luck to all the employees.
Right. Yeah, it's not their fault. That sucks for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, ultimately you're going to fall by the wayside because of your leadership.
Little dudes, little 19-year-old dudes with their greasy hair.
Well, with all that, I want to pose this question to you first, and we can go around. With not even GameStop themselves, but just regular stores that are maybe looking to focus more on the digital sales instead of the regular sales out of the brick and mortar stores. Do you think that a lot of them are going to start closing their doors permanently and make that transition, especially after something like we have going on right now?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not going to just be this industry either, because you're going to see digital payments and stuff like that, and more digital infrastructure across different business lines where whereas brick and mortar stuff might have competed 50-50 or in some kind of competition in that sense. But I think you're going to see a lot more infrastructure going into these digital-based services over the coming period, even in a short time frame. I mean, you're already seeing grocery stores doing a lot of online stuff. I mean, it's already adapting and reacting to the environment. So for sure, it's going to be even more so.
Crystal, you see a lot of storefronts closing their doors for good?
I do, actually. I mean, just like Toys R Us and KB Toys, right? They had their place in time. Unfortunately, it was super fun to go there as a kid, but we're just in a generation now where people want it now. They want their stuff now. They want that digital thing now. They don't want to wait until whatever time, just like when we have a series come on Netflix, what do? We binge it all in one day. It's like they're at midnight and we're like, boom, I'm staying up. We don't want to wait for anything. It's just the way it is. I don't necessarily think that's bad or good. Yeah.
Mike, what do you think?
So I think, so as far as like the brick and mortar stores, I think we'll probably see where it's going to depend on what the store offers. Because I think if it's something to the effect of like a clothing store, I think they'll honestly be fine, because I find that people still, I think people still actually do enjoy like the whole getting out of the house and going to the stores and shopping. But especially at like a clothing store, buying clothing online is such a gamble, as opposed to going to the store and being able to make sure it fits, things like that. I think
this isn't a medium.
On Wish, they said this was a large. But I think that what you're going to see, who you're going to see suffer the most, is honestly going to be brick and mortar restaurants more than actual stores, because the stores again have that benefit of the foot traffic and the window shopping. With restaurants, they don't have a lot of ways to generate revenue right now. Like, yeah, DoorDash is a thing, Grubhub is a thing, but we've already seen several big restaurants here in town that simply weren't generating enough money via the delivery to stay open for now. So they've had to close during the pandemic that's going on right now. A couple of places have been able to stay open, but like my favorite diner, it's down in downtown Dayton. There's actually the GoFundMe up right now because they're like, we don't know what we're going to do. The comedy club in town, which is the first comedy club ever opened in Ohio. It's the oldest one here in the state. They don't know what they're going to do if this thing continues on. So I think it's really going to depend on what kind of business the place is in. I don't think we'll see brick and mortar go away as a whole, because again, people do kind of like having that Saturday outing of going out and going shopping. But I do think, like with a lot of things, we're going to see a huge paradigm shift in shopping and business in general.
Dex, what say you?
Pretty much what Mike was saying. There are, like, around here, most of the delivery has been perfectly fine. The only thing I've noticed was like bigger chains where it is that small margin. So Pizza Hut's like express only. But I'm curious what kind of niche brick and mortar stores might fall. So like we're talking GameStop. Do we really need a GameStop? No. Even if a company that was run better, do we need that type of store as a brick and mortar? Because you can get those in Target, in Walmart, in Best Buy. Like that store is already part of other bigger stores. But I hope that's not, I mean, I guess that's the only thing I can really see maybe falling, but I like you said, restaurants, they're talking 11% of restaurants across the America are just going to go. And that's a shame. That's a real shame.
Especially because most of the ones that we're going to lose are going to be the hole in the wall, mom and pop, locally owned ones that tend to be people's favorites. McDonald's is going to be fine. Chili's is gonna be fine. But, the 416 diner in downtown Dayton, they're fucked.
Fuddruckers gone.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. I mean, do you think with those mom and pop shops closing up, do you think you're going to start to see like the corporate mergers of restaurants? Like you're going to see, like you're not going to go out to Applebee's anymore. You're going to go out to the Applebee's inside Target and things like that. Like come out to Target's Applebee's.
Well, I mean, we got Subway and Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like so. Like how long before Buffalo Wild Wings is inside GameStop or something like that? You're just boneless wings and some fucking Final Fantasy.
And then you can get your taxes done in there too.
That's a pretty cool combo. I can't even lie.
I'm gonna drop my taxes off at the cashier. Drop your taxes off at the cashier. Go back, order a pizza, go play some games, and then on my way out, pick up the taxes, and I'm good.
Put a Waffle House inside of a Trader Joe's and watch the world implode.
Well, look, Waffle House, they're all closing right now, too.
And that's
I heard that too.
This shit's serious when Waffle House is closed.
Yeah, Waffle House and Disney are closed right now.
My sister's husband works, he's a general manager at a Cracker Barrel out here, and obviously they can't do much, but he did say a cool thing that people can do to support businesses is just buy gift cards. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is one thing we can all collectively do and kind of help these guys out, especially the local ones.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they go out of business, they get your money anyway.
Right. Yeah. At least I feel bad for him 100%. It just sucks. Like, not anymore.
Well, what's funny? What's funny is like you say like a tactic like that, like support local businesses by buying gift cards. Like we had a program like that during World War II for the whole country. What
war
was
bonds?
It called? Buying bonds.
War bonds.
And
the war bonds?
and investing in your country. Like, basically you would have to, like, if you're going to do that again, 21st century, it would be buy the USA gift card, like for your friends and family. What could you get with a USA gift card? Well, you can renew your NRA membership, or how about a month's supply of toilet paper? It's possibilities are endless.
I think in about 15 years, I have a savings bond that's about to mature. So
yeah,
looking
like
for that $20.
I don't have any of those.
Yeah, I got one. I forget what I got. If I still have one. So we've kind of ripped GameStop up and down. We're all in agreement that they're a pretty sleazily run company. We're happy to see them go. Should they close their doors forever after the pandemic kind of wears off? Tough cookies on their employees. Go find another job, you sons of bitches. So we're going to switch gears here and shift the topic of discussion and open up the whole table here to some broader topics. So everybody brought something else to the table to discuss today. So we want to hear from you all. Let's start off with the rowdy one, Bill Tazi. What you bring to the table today?
I got to ask if people have watched Tiger King.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've got one episode
it was
in.
on. I watched that.
Mike looks
show.
thrilled.
I I'm one episode in. I watched the first one last night.
Me too.
All right,
And
all
dear
right. So let's just go around and take inventory. Like,
Take it away, Bill Exotic.
all right.
Literally 2 words.
Well, let me tell you here about my late husband's golden nuggets. So Sean, I was trying to get into this with you over text, and you told me you hadn't gotten this far, but so there's I'll just go around real quick because I know like time wise we're kind of pressed and stuff, but I'll go through each of you and you give me like your highlight moment from what you've watched so far. I'm gonna go away with mine where so he had this one husband, and I don't care if I'm spoiling shit for you guys right now because this shit's too ridiculous not to share. I mean, like, to think like this is just a small area in Florida where there's like all these fucking characters, but that's all.
I thought they're in
Florida.
Oklahoma. Are they in Florida or Oklahoma?
I don't know.
Oklahoma.
They were in Florida at one point. I think the one guy went to Florida to kill the Carol Baskin or something.
Carol is there.
It started.
Carol Baskin.
Yeah, Carol Baskin.
The memes, by the way, have been fantastic.
Oh dear Lord.
So real quick, so the fucking Tiger King's one husband ended up shooting himself and killing himself, and then at the funeral, Tiger King's like talking about his balls. He's like, yeah, he loved to pull his balls out and always showing his balls. He's like, I remember.
Not to mention what he's wearing, Bill. You
Yeah.
have to go ahead and
wearing and where it's at.
And he's talking about. He's like, yeah, I miss his little golden nuggets.
There was a McDonald's meme about that one.
And he's saying this as the guy's dead, the dead guy's mom is sitting like front row at the funeral, hearing about her dead.
Look, if you're going to the funeral of a husband of Joe Exotic, I think you have to go in with a certain mindset that you're probably going to hear some shit.
some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So I'll just go around.
Dex, you and Mike are one episode in. I watched like
One episode.
I think I watched like 2 or 3 episodes, like in the middle of the series with my wife as she was watching it. She finished it. Crystal, how much have you watched?
I binged the whole thing a week and a half ago when it was still number 10. And
I watched it first.
Sean's a little jealous.
The whole thing about it was I was like, okay, so this is going to be all over Facebook. It's going to be everywhere. And my whole take from the thing was 2 things. Fuck Carol. Just all around. She was the worst person there. And I literally couldn't stop staring at the man's eyebrow ring. I couldn't stop staring at it. It kept getting lower and lower. The memes about that are there. I can't with the eyebrow ring. It just was so low. Why was it down here? I don't understand the logic of it.
Is that like wearing an earring in your left ear if you're a guy to signify that you're gay?
I don't know. I think he just got older, and originally it was in the right spot, and it just fell and fell and just left there.
Migrated.
Droopy dog.
Down to his cheek. It's right here. What? It's fine. I'm cool. I'm hip. I'm with it.
Looks like a stroke.
Oh, man.
That's
Bill,
real.
let's throw it back to you, Bill, for more commentary.
More Tiger King.
Yeah, go for it. This is your baby here.
Well, I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to.
Well, you mentioned of putting like one takeaway, scene or
portion. So I mean, I'm just curious. You guys are all at different points of of viewing here, so just seeing what absurdities you've taken away.
For me, I was watching the first episode. I was just like, this guy doesn't seem that bad. I can't help but be on this guy's side until he gets to the point where he's kind of like, they ever come on my property, it's going to be a whole other Waco. And I'm like, why would she do that?
This gun's for people.
And then the next thing you see is his buddy, which, by the way, it's really great when you see somebody working at a tiger sanctuary with 2 missing legs. And the guy said, yeah, we have a suicide pact. If they ever show up here, I wrote our names on each of the bullets.
On the bullet.
What?
My wife said the same thing. She's like, those are some nice tats on his legs. I'm like, that's she's like, what?
And then
he actually lost out in a parachuting accident unrelated to tigers, but
that's the funny part.
Arm.
Then you see the other one who's got a stub left arm.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening to people?
That was the scene,
Bill.
That was the scene for me when he came into where the audience was, and he was like, "So before you hear about it, a chick lost her arm today. I can give you your money back, or you can still take the tour." Like, oh my god!
So, who has ever watched the show Brickleberry?
Nah, I never watched it.
Nobody?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
look at that face. Oh no.
So when you see in the first episode Joe with the husband who's in the first episode, all I could think about these two is there's these 2 redneck characters in Brickleberry who are kind of gay, kind of not, and all I could think is these guys are like the real life versions of these 2 motherfuckers. If you ever get the chance to watch, just look at clips of the rednecks from Brickleberry, you'll see what I'm talking about. I hate that nobody.
That's a show.
Yeah, it's a show.
Yeah, it was Daniel Tosh, right?
It had 3 seasons on Comedy Central. It's on Hulu now. You can watch all.
Is it animated series?
It's an animated series. It's one of the raunchiest shows you'll ever watch in your life. Second, maybe to Big Mouth. And
isn't that the Froyo place, Brickleberry?
Pinkberry, right?
I love Froyo.
I want
to Netflix right now.
I'm gonna start to. We're gonna table this Tiger King discussion. I just wanted to throw out what I had experienced in the time that I did watch it. The one portion, I guess there was a lot of espionage type acts going back and forth between the different animal sanctuaries. The one production studio on Joe's property got burnt down, and it was actually like half production studio, half alligator pen. So like all the alligators that were in there all died in a fire. Like, don't you people have security cameras around anywhere? Maybe because it just seems like it's like free, like barbarians just going.
Did they have some gator tail? Did they eat the gator tail?
I don't know. The guy had a nice studio though. Holy shit!
Yeah, it was.
I was a little jealous.
Or was he in cahoots and did he take all his shit out before the fire got set? We don't know. Like everybody's trying to place the blame on everybody else. Like, yeah, everybody's
the whole show.
I love it. I'm gonna have to finish it.
Yeah,
you have to finish it because there's like even worse people like Jeff. You'll see
Jeff Lowe. I've seen some Jeff Lowe.
Bad dude.
and in episode 1, I will say at episode 1, I hate Doc.
Doc?
Oh, that guy.
Like, because all
Ansel.
He talks about how people are paying. He charged me like $600 to come in, and I'm like, screw you, dude.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, my cat heard us talking about Tiger King and came off the bed to jump up here and say, "What's up? I'm a cat. You guys are talking about cats."
Cat's like talking about Tiger King.
Sorry, I won't let him get you. It's okay, Sophie.
Mike, what did you bring to the table for us today?
So amidst all the fear of the coronavirus, I was actually concerned about how Corona beers sales were doing. Believe it or not, they are up 5%.
That's good.
Their sales are up 5% amidst all of this, which just, it kind of just makes you feel good because, it's like, okay, well, people aren't that small-minded. All right, cool.
Now, I
guess it's
thought
the
I saw
area.
some stories like initially on that they were like boycotting Corona beers and all kinds of things.
Well, yeah, you've got those idiots out there. They're the same people who were like, boycotting like the Chinese restaurants and shit.
Right.
Right.
Chinese
virus.
The China virus.
China virus.
But yeah, now their sales have grown 5% in the last 4 weeks.
Well, good for what? Everybody needs their beer, and I feel like probably people buying Corona beer is probably direct, like, oh, well, it's not going to get me. I'm going to drink Corona beer, and I'm going to beat this thing. Cool.
Either that or they came up with the best, like, marketing scheme in the world and put that shit out themselves so people would be like, what? I'm buying Corona. That's crazy. Don't say
It ain't
that.
gonna kill me.
Right.
Yeah, once they realize what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, you're gonna drink more of it. You're gonna fucking
Well, you got to start
Beer.
boofing it.
yeah, you gotta boof it.
Good old butt chug.
Beer,
action.
the cure-all.
But the thing is, what's funny is their sales are up, but their stock is down. So people are actually saying that now is the time to go out and buy stock in Corona because it won't be long before it goes right the hell back up again.
Yeah, I mean, in general, like if you're somebody who's worried about money, I would say you need to be also aggressive with your money. And so if you lost money in stocks, if you lost money in your 401k, things like that, even if you don't have much in savings, like this is still a good time in the market to see, which brands, which companies, the ones that are being aggressive and getting in front of everything that this virus is affecting, the ones who are taking action now and are not sitting around and thinking like, what should I do? How's my strategy? Like those people are going to get left in the wind. And that's why, you will probably see a lot of mergers, after this and things like that, business wise, where you're like, oh my God, Pizza Hut, merged with,
Wait, I'm getting word from the news desk now. Fubu.
Fubu, yes!
Merged with KFC.
Oh no.
For the win.
I saw somebody cut a clip. Somebody cut a clip together of the Chappelle skit with from the reparations episode. They have like I don't know who it is actually doing an actual broadcast, and then they cut to the Chappelle clip. And it's just so perfectly done. Hot the funny, y'all. There's poor people out here.
I think it was Munchin talking. They just were like, he was like, yeah, the checks are coming in like 2 weeks, and all of a sudden it was the Chappelle clip. Yeah, that was great.
So perfectly done. If anything, the way that we're gonna get through this, aside from social distancing, is with humor, crack, and memes. I think that's the way that we're all gonna get through it. While we're still on our roundtable segment here, Dex, what did you bring to the table?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Couldn't be. Then who?
He brought his beer to the table.
I brought meat. No, I don't know. I was
brought his golden nuggets to the table.
Did you follow the guidelines?
Nuggets. I guess I'm curious how many of you are actually watching any paranormal episodes
Of
or
what?
shows, I should say.
Oh, just general
any of
shows.
them. You have Jack Osborne's doing his Portals of Hell. You have Kindred Spirits with two of the people who were originally on Ghost Hunters. Is anybody watching any of them?
I'm excited to check out the Skinwalker Ranch show.
Yes.
The host, the guy who's hosting
I'm pretty
it,
sure that's tomorrow.
I'm not a fan of the guy who's serving as the main host of it. I've seen him on something else before. I don't like him. But the premise of the show is very interesting. You want to elaborate on that a little bit? I'm sure you have a little more insider info than I do.
Are we talking about the show?
Yeah, what's the premise of the show?
So this, I should actually had the notes I had from the other day. But this show actually does come on tomorrow. It's at 10 o'clock. But Skinwalker Ranch, basically, for the past 200 years, has had stories from everything from aliens, ghosts, things like that. And this is going to be this huge deep dive using scientists, and they're going to be testing the Earth's magnetic how you call it? I'm sorry. The Earth's electromagnetic field.
Not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
It's aliens.
It's always alien. But see, I did
specter apparition.
I actually went into a whole big thing about that with aliens and how I feel we're being conditioned where all of a sudden somebody's gonna be like, oh look, here it is, it's real, and everyone's like, oh okay. It's not a big deal anymore because the stories have been slowly and more coming out. Now, Sean's shaking his head, and I've had people say the same thing. They're like, oh no, it's always gonna be this. No, it's fake. I don't know. That's again what my whole show is about.
With how people have been reacting to the coronavirus, even to this day, there are people out there just calling it a hoax, not believing in anything that's happening. There is,
I think we released
the mass hysteria and panic that's going on with this. People are asking us to stay home. That's all they're doing. Don't build a bunker. Don't go buy all the shit off the shelves. Don't run for your lives. Stay home. Wait for us.
What does everybody do?
Not go home or not stay home. We're not telling you that aliens exist and you shouldn't believe in God anymore or whatever it is, and everybody just panic. There is no chance that the government will ever tell us that aliens actually exist. Going off
like
of
I said,
how people are reacting to this.
So that was before all this. And like I said, there has been people in a
There is a press announcement supposed to be next week. They're going to tell us cancel.
Yeah, Area 51. Trump was going to be there. But
look,
it was
the aliens are real. I know the aliens. They're great people, great businessmen,
great people.
There's this
tremendous.
There's this comment online where this guy sits up in bed in the middle of the night, and his wife's like, "What's wrong, honey?" He's like, "That's official. There's no aliens. They're not real. We don't have them here." And she's like, "How do you know?" He's like, "Because Trump would have told us already."
And you know, I actually did think about that because I'm like, this guy's got to be reading a manual and going, "What the fuck can I just tell people right now?"
Who's a manual?
I need something. Yeah. But I don't. Again, back to that show. I'm really looking forward to that show too because it is 200 years of UFO sightings, bizarre animal mutilations, and any kind of paranormal related story you can see. So that's what I'm looking forward to. The other shows are pretty good.
Is that
it's called
Third Rock from the Sun?
Toby.
Yes,
it's called Fox
Toby
and
is
Friends.
the host. Fox and Friends. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it.
Live.
They lived.
Oh, They Lived. Great movie.
It's a great movie.
That's about it.
Crystal, I do want to see what you brought to the table. Now, as we're going to transition to our final segment of this episode, we're going to highlight you, Miss Crystal Marie Austin. We're going to take some time to highlight you, figure out where you're from, what you're about, and where we might possibly be seeing you in the future if all things work out well. So, kind of give everybody a little background on yourself, Crystal.
Okay, I grew up in Northern California. Moved to Indiana a year ago. My dad and sister live out here, and I finally bit the bullet to come out to the Midwest, where it's a complete culture shock and super weird. But I live in this little tiny niche community that's kind of progressive and not so, I don't know, stars and barsy. I don't really know how to really explain it.
She's talking to you, Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
It's just, it's been a little bit of a crazy that I moved here during that polar vortex. That was pretty nuts. I am a movie person. I'm the person people call in the middle of the night. Who was in this? Who was this actor? What movie was that? That's me. That's how I roll. So recently I met Bill here on an 80s page that we both have on Facebook, and I decided to make my own for 80s and 90s, and it's pretty badass. I call it Be Kind Rewind, and it is all things glamorous to those two decades joined together. It's pretty fun.
Now, Bill is absolutely Mr. 80s in our circles here. Bill,
Yeah,
when you first linked up with Crystal, you let me know that she may be interested in doing some kind of content with the Cinescape Media Network and us here.
Right.
Crystal, have you given any further thought into doing some kind of a podcast or stream like we're doing now?
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I think it would be awesome. I want to talk about all my cool random, the way my brain works through movies. It kind of goes through a Rolodex of like a certain person in a movie, kind of a Kevin Bacon 7 Degrees type situation, but with everybody. So I think that would be fun to yammer on about for 45 minutes.
Well, people listen to us, listen to you.
Yeah, right.
and
well, I'm a chick, so that helps. It's huge, sparkly eyes.
I mean, hey, you gotta flaunt what you got, right?
Yeah.
And Sean, I think as we're talking about Cinescape Media here, this is a perfect opportunity to say like something like this tonight. Doing the mics of the round table. I know it's only the second show, stuff like that, but this is a perfect opportunity for not only during our situation here, nationwide, globally, but just for us, whether it's through this channel or other people in our network are connecting with other people. It's just good to have a forum like this where we can bring people together from within our network and find people outside that just have common interests and are able to just talk about things that we talk about every day and talk about almost obsessively about random things like movies and trivial things from decades past. But all things aside though, Crystal, it's great to have you on the show here tonight. We'll be able to dive into some stuff. I feel like I'm losing my voice today. I apologize because I woke up today and my nose is running and I have allergy. I think it's the allergies. I'm hoping it's not the big C.
It's everywhere. You're good.
I've been like worrying all day. I'm like,
Bill has the Chinese virus.
It's a China virus, man. Because once you start feeling a little down, I'm like, oh, maybe it was that lady I bumped into at fucking aisle 5 or something like that. I mean, I don't know.
Look, I know exactly where you're coming from. When we were doing our show last week, I'd go on and say, 2 weeks ago, or probably even like 2.5 weeks ago now, I had gotten the flu. And I'm somebody who never ever gets sick, maybe a sinus infection once or twice a year. So me coming down with the flu at a time where the coronavirus, is all starting to ramp up, but before everything got shut down and everything. Yeah, I was paranoid. Absolutely. I never get sick. And here I am, with every symptom that they're telling me comes along with it. So
aside from a fever.
Oh, I woke up in the middle of the night with a fever. I was freezing cold.
The mom and me did that. It was like,
yeah, it was terrible. But I've felt better since, and we all hope you're feeling better, Bill.
And that's something that we've been talking about a lot.
I'll keep you posted on my status. If I have to self isolate, I will. I'll let you know. But so far we're rocking and rolling. But yeah, I mean, just to continue on, thank you to Crystal for joining us tonight.
Thanks,
hopefully, this just gives you a little sample serving just of the, things we like to talk about and things like that. I think a show like this is great because we're not so restricted to any one area, but, as we progress with this format, it's going to be interesting because the shows will take on the embodiment of those who host it. So, there are certain creative liberties that get to be taken here. So this will be this will be fun to have you join us and then to see where things go. And then I mean, if we know other people, I mean, it's just this will be a fun forum to get us through Quarantineville. So
yes, and shoot the shit.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Basically.
Yeah, Bill, you just mentioned that we're going to have, it's going to be a rotating host job is the way that this show is going to work. So I serve main duties tonight here. Next episode, somebody else is going to take the reins, and we're just going to rotate around, have on some great guests like Crystal here. And like we said, no topics are really going to be off the table. I really don't want to do religion and politics so much, but we'll try to stay away from that. But like you said, Bill, this is definitely a great, variety kind of show. We're going to get all topics from all walks of life, different people, and we're just looking to have some great conversations. We're sitting here, obviously we're doing our streams separately because we're quarantined right now, but that's also giving us the opportunity to adapt and to broaden our horizons a bit. So we're happy to be here on StreamYard tonight and looking forward to doing more of these episodes of Mike's of the Round Table. So we'll get anybody else have any closing remarks before we get out of here for the night, Bill?
Well, you got to give Crystal her piece of what she brought.
What? Oh, you're asking me?
Didn't you ask what she was gonna what she brought to the table tonight?
Well, she talked about it.
Well, yeah, I was talking about myself.
Yeah, she was talking about
Mike.
myself.
I'll share
Mike, we didn't ask you what you brought to the table?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I said I brought the Corona news.
Yeah, the beer.
Corona.
Okay.
Yeah, he brought Corona to the table.
That was just a topic. I didn't know if that was actually his thing.
Actually, I got something that just broke on Twitter about 20 minutes ago.
Breaking news.
From Jeff Snyder himself.
Oh, the In-Snyder.
The In-Snyder himself. So the films Uncharted, Morbius, and Ghostbusters Afterlife pushed back to 2021.
Oh man!
I was hoping for a direct-to-video release.
Yeah, I was too. That's why I put them on Dexflix.
Ghostbusters Afterlife will be pushed back to March 5th. Mobius has been pushed to March 19th, and Uncharted October 8th, 2021.
Oof. Man, I feel like Uncharted's got the whole
it's cursed.
Same curse that New Mutants has got. That's never gonna
happen. That and the Crow, like it's never gonna.
Okay, but what about Bill and Ted 3? That's all I really care about.
Oh shit!
That's true. That's going to be video game.
Because that was going to be National Keanu Day, because that was supposed to come out the same day as Matrix.
Yeah, Matrix. So excited.
That's something you could do. You could play like guess the movie that's going to go straight to video and which one's going to get shelved.
Yeah,
that's a great game.
That's a beautiful game. We're going to play it.
You could hedge bets on that, actually.
Yeah,
we'll get a block pool going.
Let's do it.
Over under on
Mulan.
All right, well, we're going to table this discussion tonight. Thank you all for joining us on this episode of Mike's of the Round Table. Make sure you check out Cinescape.media for a complete listing of all the shows that we have available on our network, as well as all the great content over there. We wanted to thank Miss Crystal Austin. Where can everybody find you online, Crystal?
I have a page called Be Kind Rewind on Facebook, and it is amazing. Add it.
Yes, we will absolutely link that to the show notes description of this episode. Dax, where can everybody find you online?
We got the Suburban Paranormal on all platforms.
Hell yeah, we do. Doing great numbers on the Blueberry statistics. Top show.
Let me check.
Mike, where can everybody find you online?
You can go to my website, MikeShayComedy.com. Also go to BasementLoungePod.com. And then, of course, I host Cinescape Radio here on Cinescape. It's supposed to be every Monday, but it's turning into every other Monday, it seems like. But yeah, I'm everywhere.
And Mr. Tazi, where can we find you?
Down at the bus stop.
He's passing out flyers.
Well, I guess we can't say at the Cinescape podcast anymore because
I'll be around.
It's been retired. Yeah, Bill will be here. I mean, he ain't doing anything.
Yeah, I mean,
you can find
check out my new blog called Captain's Log of Quarantine.
Bill's throwing around some cool ideas of
I'm using quarantine to just recenter and develop. So
I feel like we should make an app called Quarantine.
Quarantine.
I'm on it.
Yeah, we're the Quarantine.
Quarantine.
That's right. Quarantine. Trademark.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work.
DJ Khaled.
All right, well, let's wrap it up here. For myself, Sean Harrigan, Bill Ratty Tazzi, Mike Shea, Dex Burgess, and Crystal Marie Austin, we all wanted to say thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope you enjoyed this iteration of Mikes of the Roundtable. Make sure you go on and check out all of our great shows and content everywhere. You can find it in the show notes description. Subscribe to our podcast today, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Deuces.
Bye.
Clear. We're clear.